Welcome to Coffee Time with Ria and Amber.
Do coffee time with us. Have your coffee and hang with us.
These are the conversations that we usually have when the cameras aren't rolling. Ria and I will get into philosophical conversations all day, every day.
All the time.
The superficial things just...
I just don't do it. It's just like so icky thinking about superficial shit. I can't have conversations with people anymore. It's superficial.
It's
and
very
you can
hard.
tell.
Ugh.
I have a hard time. I have to be connecting energetically with somebody to even be myself.
Yeah, I understand.
Do you get it?
Yeah, because I'm the same way. If I don't feel like...
You do a good job getting through it though.
I asked the right questions.
Yes, you do a really good job getting through a conversation. Yeah. She does. And that's why a lot of the time I let her have the conversation. And
no, she doesn't let me. Okay, let's rephrase that, Ria. Go back. That was me rewinding the tape. She makes me take over conversations. She does not let me.
You do a really good job.
Thanks, honey.
You just do.
I have no choice.
When we're stuck in those conversations that I don't want to be in, she's just like really good at it.
Because I want people to feel...
I'm sorry, see, I cut you off. You do a good job, I have to say, asking the right questions to get someone to like...
Open up.
Well, they open up naturally to you,
yeah.
Which is crazy. People just like...
I want them to feel comfortable.
People just naturally tell you things about themselves they end up being so vulnerable. Like, it's crazy to see.
I have like a very welcoming aura when I'm speaking to people. I make them know that they're like in a safe space and they're not being judged, and I'm not gonna take what they say and then make my own narrative about it when I walk away from them. Because I've been told that I'm very like off-putting.
So have I though. I've been told, not anymore, because I used to always have this guard up and I knew I did. My energy it was my energy.
Yeah, me too.
People used to be like, you just came off like a bitch, and I'm like...
Me too, though. I had RBF all the time.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that in a long time, though.
We were really talking about what the healing journey looks like to the people on the outside while you're healing.
Mm-hmm. It looks like, to them, we look like assholes.
Right. We're talking about people who are like closely, not even just closely, but anybody on the outside, their perspective, and they watch you physically and mentally grow, and how that affects them personally. Say, for instance, if someone from my past is watching me on social media, but they have a perception of me that they've maintained for 15 years. Like they've known me as this person and they only know me that way.
As the you that
they've perceived me to be.
You to be.
Right. So like when you have someone who actively puts in work to level up and become a better person, on the outside, through their eyes, through their lens, you're fake.
Oh yeah, 100% they see you as fake and you're pretending, you're not authentic, you're just... It does for people who are stuck in one place in their healing journey, who only see people like, you are the way that you are, you have to accept who you are. Right. They don't believe in you can get out of that victim mentality, that part of your life.
Right.
So they think that you're full of shit because they haven't done the work.
Absolutely.
So they're like, no way, you fucking can just be good, because they're stuck somewhere.
It's a lifestyle. So people believe that like your lifestyle is created based off of your circumstances, based off of how you were raised, based off of what's been conditioned upon you for so long. And they choose to live that lifestyle. So they choose to show up as that person that was conditioned in those things. When people realize like you have the choice to choose your lifestyle, it really throws people for a loop who haven't made that choice for themselves.
It did. I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
When it was presented to me like that, when you came into my life and you showed me videos and books, and I was like, no fucking way. I didn't even know these things were a thing. Like, what you mean I can change this? You mean I have a choice? You mean I'm creating everything I'm doing to myself? Then it was like, it kind of gave me hope.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have any for myself. So it sparked something in me, like, okay, even though it was hard to hear that, like, okay, I did that to myself, like, what the fuck? So I can't use my trauma as a crutch to continue to be who I was. It's like, okay, I'm being called out. This is what it is. Now I have to take accountability. Like, where do I start? How do I do it? It was definitely life-changing. It definitely gave me hope when you showed me a little hope, but also it's still like my ego was still there.
It's ingrained in you. It's not something that's easy to just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna change today.
No, I was resisting still, you know, it was a lot of resistance for sure. There was also a part of me that didn't want to, so I was fighting with myself internally so hard, but also with you about it. Your brain is just so conditioned. I conditioned my brain to so hard believe that was my life.
You have to realize that it wasn't just you believing that was your life. It was this ingrained condition to fear to show up as somebody else in the eyes of the people who've conformed you the way that you are. Because if you start showing up as that person, then you have to answer to those people. Mm-hmm. And you have to say, I don't care what you think about me. And that's so hard for so many people to do. To be able to separate themselves and say, what my reflection looks like to other people does not directly affect me. It's not my responsibility to decide how someone else views me. Mm-hmm. And that, to some people, is self-centered. When you choose yourself and you choose your happiness and you choose your own path, they're like, how dare you not live the life that I told you that you're supposed to be living, or that I assumed you would be living?
So to me, that looks, to me, in my eyes, the self-centered person is the person who's selfish and making it about themselves.
100%.
Because they want your energy and they want you to be a certain way. When in reality, you should have people around you happy for you, encouraging you to be the better version of yourself. Like, this shouldn't be a argument. This shouldn't be a bad thing at all.
Well, I'm reading a book right now, The Courage to Be Disliked, and it's Adler's philosophy, and it goes based off of that. Like, everything we do as a human, if you're not in the process of healing or have worked on healing already, is mainly focused on other people's interpersonal relationships, what everybody else around you feels, sees, hears, if they're going to reward you or tell you you're beautiful or say, wow, you're so successful. Most people thrive based off of how other people will view them.
That's true.
You're not free until you can separate yourself from the idea that it's okay if people don't view you as that way. If they don't think you're successful, if they don't think that you're living the life that looks like on par with what they believe.
That are true to you, that are actually has happened in your life. It is wisdom, and people are still like pushing back because they have such a strong belief system that they've been indoctrinated in, that they're like, no fucking way,
right.
You're lying. It does come with hate. It does come with a lot of people like seeing you express these things. It comes with the territory.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna get ostracized.
You're gonna get it. It doesn't matter. It's almost like so taboo to people. When you challenge a thought, when you challenge someone's belief system, ask the right questions, and they don't know how to answer it. It's always like reactive, immediately, like defense. Instead of sitting back and just saying, wait, let me think this through. Let me actually think about the question and figure out why I believe this way. Why I internally feel so much hatred or negativity. Where is it coming from? Nobody wants to do the work. They're just always just like projecting onto anyone else who's doing good. Or does that make sense?
No, I 100%. I agree 100%. The main focus in that topic needs to be, you're never gonna make everyone happy. And if you are trying to, and that's your main goal, is for everyone to like you, then you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else, because you're people pleasing just to be liked. And that's actually more of a self-centered view, because everything you're thinking about is how someone else can serve me, how they can show me that I'm good enough, how they can give me something.
Well, you read that book you were just talking about, and when you pointed out like being in a room full of 10 people. So if you're in a room with 10 people and you have a conversation with the first one, the second, you have different conversations with those people who are people pleasing, and you form to what they like you.
Yes.
So each person, you're technically being different.
Right.
Are you being yourself, or are you trying to get each person to like you?
Right. That's the definition of hell, like on earth.
Is that really fun? Do you want to be in a room with 10 people and just be authentically you, and then you just know who's cool in that room, who likes you for you, and then just like weed them out? Or do you want to just be fake and suffer with the thought of like, that's not even me, but I'm just gonna pretend to be someone I'm not just so these people could like me?
I know, but that's so deeply ingrained in people, is to want to be liked, to not feel rejected, and that's the hardest part for people, is to just be okay with who they are. And I think they're so afraid of being lonely, so they'd rather surround themselves with superficial people, just so that they have people around them. Nobody's intentional goal is to be out there to be disliked on purpose. Like, no one's out there like, I'm gonna go out there and make people hate me.
No, you just want to be your true authentic self. You just want those people to be on your wavelength and understand and support you and love you. I can't connect with somebody who doesn't understand me, who doesn't get my happiness. I just can't vibe with that.
But you don't have to either. You don't have to vibe with that. You don't have to keep people around just so that you...
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't care how you feel. You're allowed to believe whatever the hell you want, your own belief system, but like, I'm allowed to accept who I want to accept in my life that aligns with me, with my belief system, with my energy. I used to always care about how people thought of me. I used to be so many different versions. I didn't know who I was. Pretend to be someone else with everybody.
That's why you showed up as so many different versions, because every time you tried to show up as who you really were, even as a child, it was like beat out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be too loud. Don't play with the boys. You can't dress that way. You know,
I used to be vocal when I was little. I used to try so hard to fight for what I wanted to do and what I wanted to wear, who I wanted to hang out with. I tried, but like, I was scared.
that's beaten out of you.
Yeah.
Then you grow up with that conditioning.
Yeah.
And then you start showing
I
up.
started to people please so
Yeah.
hard and just be somebody that everybody wanted me to be. So I was just taught that way. So my parents wanted me to be this way. They wanted me to be that way. Everybody was always like, I'm just so proud of you, but like, proud of what? What are you proud of? Does no one not see how miserable I am? No one sees how miserable I was.
They didn't care because you aligned with their belief system.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until you started showing up as yourself and they'd be like, oh, I miss when you were feminine. Oh, I'm so proud of you, but I miss when your makeup and hair was done. Like, they'd make comments like that, like, oh, good for you, but you still don't make me proud. Like, I'm still not happy because you're not showing up as the person I want you to be. That is so detrimental to someone's psyche. So when you cut people out of your life who show up that way, that does not make you self-centered. It makes them self-centered for wanting you to behave the way that aligns with their belief system.
For me, I don't see anything wrong with somebody wanting to be better and grow. Just because you got cut off, there's a reason you got cut off. Accept it and just move on. If you actually love the person that you so badly got, that person who cut you off, if you love them as much as you say you love them, then you would accept the boundary. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. I accept it. I just want them to be happy. But they don't.
They won't, because they want you to show up as that person that you were before you healed. And they can't control you anymore.
No, and I will never be able to connect ever again as that person with them. To me, they are just my lessons. They're not the word family. They literally, I view them as lessons to my, I
can relate to that.
I don't see them in a mom, dad, sister, brother. I don't see them in that light. I just see them as my lessons, and I've learned the lesson that I needed to learn from them, which in turn makes me very grateful and sit in gratitude. I'm just good. I'm content with my life and I'm at peace. So it's like, allow me to be at peace.
Yeah, I think most people want that. I think the biggest takeaway there is you can make your own choices and do your own healing, but you have to release the fear of how you're going to show up to other people. You have to be okay with them not liking who you are. You have to be okay with being disliked by people in your community and your job and friendships even.
Literally, who cares? I always think of we're all gonna die one day. Like, people in the 1900s, all of them are wiped out. No one's still alive. Ain't nobody know their story, who liked them and who didn't like them and who talked shit about who, and what their past is. No one thinks about them. It's gone. It's wiped out.
Right.
Did they get to live their authentic life? in that time, or did they live a life where they spent so much time worrying about everyone else's opinion about themselves?
Right. It's true. And now more than ever, we live in a free society. They say that because you have the freedom to choose to show up as yourself. You do have that freedom where we live. But are you courageous enough to be able to do that? Are you courageous enough to be able to show up as that person? Because guess what? You're going to trigger a lot of people, and they're going to say a lot of nasty things about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you to be able to say, I know who the fuck I am. I know who I'm showing up as. And if people have the belief system that nobody changes, that's only a reflection on who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a reflection on you.
So everybody lives in their own reality. Everyone has their own perception. You can't change that. They have this view of you, and there's nothing you can do about it to change it.
And that's okay.
Exactly. But it's not my burden. It's not mine to carry. I don't care how you view me. I know the truth about myself internally, what I feel, and who I am as a human being. And that's all I need. I don't need your validation. I don't need it. I'm good. I don't care if you hate me. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not going to focus on it. I'm going to continue to focus on our life and our future and the present moment. That's what we're going to do.
That's what most
Moving
people
forward.
should do. Like, if someone else is so hyper-focused on how you're living, then you need to realize that says more about them than you.
Right.
Like, everyone should be focusing on themselves.
Exactly. No one should be worried about what someone else is doing.
It's weird.
It really is.
I know, it's really weird. And I get it, though. Like, people get so hyper-focused on people who grow and people who make lifestyle changes. It's weird for them because if they're so stuck in a place where they don't know how to change, or they're kind of in the mentality where they don't think that they have to change, if they see people putting in that work, to them, they're like, that's not real. Like, that's so fake.
It's
like,
fake.
It's not serving
It's
me
not
anymore.
possible
Yeah.
for you to change.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. It's possible for anyone to change, for anyone to make a different choice. When it's uncomfortable, when it's scary, is when you should be doing
that part.
When you should be doing the change. And then once you do it, once you make the change when it's scary in that moment, and after you do it, you're like, what the fuck happened? Nothing happened.
You're like, this whole time?
What the fuck was I scared of? Nothing happened.
I know.
I just made a choice
I just
that
got a
was
little bit
better for
uncomfortable.
me. I got a little bit uncomfortable because I'm not used to choosing myself. I'm used to doing everything everybody else wants me to. So the one time I know I did something that was going to upset those people because I chose myself, I stopped caring about them being upset.
Absolutely.
I was like, you know what? This doesn't make me feel good. I don't want this. And my intuition doesn't feel good. And I choose myself. Okay, they got upset. Like, I knew they were gonna get upset. It's like you already know they're gonna get upset.
But that's what's stopping most people from doing the work.
That's what I mean. It's like, okay, so what? And then you let go of caring that they're upset, and that's all it is. It's like, okay, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I'd rather be happy because it's my life. My life is mine.
Yeah.
Your life is yours.
And I can truly say, like, freedom only comes when you're able to release your fear of judgment. Freedom only comes when you show up as yourself for you.
For real.
You're not hurting anybody. Yes, it might hurt their feelings, but that's not your responsibility. Their feelings are not your responsibility.
It's not your burden.
You're not living a life to make other people happy. You're not. And if they come into your presence and then, you know, you align with each other and you are happy and you're both living separately, yet you both know you make each other happy, that's a beautiful thing. However, you don't owe anybody to lift them up all the time, to keep them in to keep feeding their ego. That's not your responsibility.
No,
Here.
it's true. It's really not.
I had to say that.
Not the sin.
I'm just saying, it's so powerful. Like, this information is so powerful, yet it will go over so many people's head. And that's just sad for me, because I feel like so many people don't get to live a life of truth.
That's their journey.
I know it's their journey.
We literally.
I know it's their opportunity. I know
This
that.
will hit the right audience that it's meant to hit. If it's not, it doesn't resonate. It's not for everybody. Healing is really not for everybody.
Oh, 100%.
Some people are going to come back lifetimes and lifetimes to learn their lessons, and that's their journey. That's not our business. That's not our burden to bear. We are here to share knowledge with the people that
it resonates with.
It ignites their soul and it clicks for them, and they'll know, wow, this is what I needed to hear. Mm-hmm. They'll just know.
I used to wonder, and I think many people do, like, what is my purpose here, right? What could I be here for?
I mean, that's the question I've done until last week.
Right.
What the fuck is my purpose?
And it was in such a way of, like, you would have never imagined you'd end up in this position.
No.
Like, this would have never been, like, as a child, we were like, I want to be a singer. Like, I want to be a basketball player.
I know that was my thing. I wanted to be a basketball player. I'm like, I'm going to be a famous basketball player.
I wanted to be a singer. And then we got to a position where, like, we built up this platform, but, like, it was never in an ego way. Like, we never did it in an ego way. We always started out from the beginning, sharing our stories and our wisdom with people so that we could give voices to people who didn't have one.
We've done our healing on the internet.
Like, in the public eye.
And people are still seeing our lessons publicly because people still want to be public about things that
they don't have their own identity.
No.
But
we're doing it publicly, though.
Yeah.
We're healing, and we're at a point in our life.
Do you think that healing is hard in general? Try doing it in the public
eye. Also having a relationship in the public eye.
Oh my God, and getting it scrutinized consistently. And then while you're doing your healing, how I said, like, all those people that will come back in and will start to get angry and pissed off at you and project on your healing. Now, we got all that publicly. We understand our purpose here and how big it is. And that's why when we get these giant lessons, it's like, I understand it. I get it. Like, I can use this wisdom now to help the next person through their situation.
I'm just grateful that I'm at a part in my healing to the point where I genuinely don't care. And I can see how much pain those people are experiencing and how much unhealed those people are.
Right.
Because anyone who is doing good in their life, anyone who's thriving, anyone who's actually paying attention to what's going on in their life, you just know that they're not worried about what other people are doing.
Never.
I don't care what other people are doing.
You're
not going to search people's names, pay attention to what they're doing, cause drama online, talk about these people. Our next move is, what are we doing next? Like,
how can we heal
more? What are we reading?
Next?
Right?
Yes.
What do we got to read? Let's meditate right now. Let's
raise
how do we elevate?
Exactly.
And it's always the conversations.
Right.
This is the conversations we have every fucking day.
Right.
3-4 hours at a time. We have these conversations that we're doing right now for a video.
Right.
You just know those people are miserable.
And they have their own burdens to bear. They have their own journey to proceed with. But I'm telling you, like you said,
they don't. We're a distraction for people sometimes. Anybody who talks about other people, gossips, anybody who's focused on anything but their own journey, it's distracting themselves because they refuse to actually do the work and pay attention to what's actually going on in their home.
Right.
I mean, I've been there. I used to distract myself with anything. Anything.
Celebrity gossip.
Hell yeah, everything.
Like, everything.
I used to even be into the drama, like what's going on. I didn't involve myself in the drama, but I wanted to know.
Because then it was just the distraction.
I'm like, all right, somebody else got it worse than me. Like, somebody else is going through shit too. That makes me feel good. It made me feel good that somebody was struggling, and I'm like, that doesn't feel.
Think about that now.
That doesn't feel good. No, I'm not that person. That does. I'm not. That's what I mean. Is like, I've grown so much that I don't wish.
Right.
I only want to see people do good. I get no gratification knowing somebody is struggling or in a bad place.
No, but you have to realize that if they're in such a low vibration,
but I understand it.
They'll surround themselves with other people at the same vibration to fill that
ego.
Need. It's like a perpetuating anger and frustration. And if you get other people around you to feel the same way as you, it's going to constantly fill your need to reaffirm that feeling towards other people.
100%. They attract like-minded people.
100%.
100%. That's how it works.
And like, I don't have time or energy for that. And I think once you go through your healing, you'll understand. You won't even be able to surround yourself with people who have that type of mindset anymore.
No, you can't. Anyone who hangs on to jealousy or hatred, and you can feel, once you're in tune with your intuition, you just know something feels off. I can't explain it. It's like, if you know, you know.
100%.
that you cannot be around those people anymore. It doesn't feel good in a room. You get anxiety that I can handle it. It's not my anxiety. I've taken care of my anxiety. I've taken care of all of my shit. So when I start feeling something that's out of my control, that I'm like, why can't I, where did this come from? It doesn't feel good. That's not mine. It doesn't feel right. It's my intuition also causing me to be alert about something.
Right. So to the outside view, when we choose to be very picky about who we surround ourselves with or the type of situations we put ourselves in, to other people that looks like isolation. It looks like we're keeping ourselves from the outside world. When you are a healed individual, you choose your energy very wisely.
Yeah, there's a lot of vampire suckers out there. They will literally use you just for your energy. And we've had people in our lives like that, where we are approached for our knowledge, our wisdom, our energy, and we have given it so willingly
and lovingly
without nothing in return, and constantly being the one to give that energy, and in return we've always gotten the negative. We've not gotten anything back other than negative energy.
But we did it without the intention of receiving something back.
No, not physical, not like money, not a gift, nothing physical. But when I give out good energy, I want you to match my energy. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So if I'm matching on your high vibration, I'm giving you value to your life. You're adding good value to my life energetically on a good vibration. You make me happy, I make you happy. But those people, all they do is stress you. There's something that just like, it sucks the energy out of you. The good energy that you work so hard to protect and heal, that version of you, like you can't just let anybody in your circle. It doesn't work. And I can't, it's like, if you know shit.
It's the same thing as a intimate relationship. If you're in a marriage with somebody who's unwilling to grow, unwilling to respect your boundaries, unwilling to love you the way you need to be loved, are you just staying around?
To comfort.
As comfort? Are you just staying there because you're worried about people's judgment of you leaving? Are you just staying there because you don't want to hurt those people's feelings?
Or you're afraid to feel what it's like outside of them. Even your financials. It's not because you're happy.
No.
Just know when you're unhappy in a relationship, any type of relationship.
Not just a marriage, not just friendship, family, all
anything.
Of it.
It doesn't feel good, but no one, it's like people accept it. You just accept that behavior. We normalize being treated like that.
I agree.
It's like, it's normal. People, everybody, it's not true. People can do the work. People don't have to treat you like shit. People don't have to disrespect you, and you don't have to take the disrespect back.
Especially when you are firm with boundaries, when you're upfront with your feelings and you express how you feel. It's not like you've held your feelings and emotions in for years and years and years and built it up and then exploded on these people. It's when you have been able to express yourself to these people and say, boundary, that hurts my feelings, boundary, over and over again, and they continue to step over those boundaries repetitively, and then you put your foot down, everyone wants to be like, oh my God, you're the bad guy.
You're the asshole.
I've been telling you for how long that you're stepping over my boundaries, and you've yet to respect them.
You're always the asshole.
And
but they never want to ask you how you got to that point.
Absolutely.
Like, why are we being reactive?
Right.
It's reactive abuse. Like, why am I to the point where I have to cut you off now? They never want to think about the deeper issue. They always want to think about that moment.
Because they themselves wouldn't be able to cut somebody off.
No.
It also isn't reactive at that point. At that point, it's logic. Because you've given it so many chances, so much thought for so long.
Yeah, it's been a whole process. It's not like it just happens.
Exactly. You've now processed it for so long and healed through it. It's like, when you're in a marriage for 15 years and you already left it internally 5 years ago. And so
I know exactly what you're talking
now
about.
you've healed it already. And then by the time you say, I want a divorce, they're like, what do you mean? This is so sudden. And then it's so easy for you to walk away because you've already processed that internally.
You process it. It's exactly, you nailed it. It's exactly how it works. It's like we've already in our heads have already processed with every little conversation or whatever. It's like, this is not going to work. And you just know deep down inside it's not going to work. So you process it and you just like accept it.
A lot of people.
And then when it hits you in the face, you're like, all right,
I've given so many chances.
This is enough.
And I think a lot of people can relate to that. But I think not many people have the courage to really set that firm boundary for themselves and choose themselves. And to know that it's okay to do that. It's all right.
I mean, try it one time with one person in your life and just see how it feels. What's it gonna do?
Yeah.
What is it gonna do? We're talking about, obviously, when we're saying people who are in unsafe situations, they know that we're not talking about that stuff. But we're talking about, like, you're just afraid of how you're gonna make them react. Who cares what they'll say about you? Or who cares? Like, just try it. Try with one person in your life that really is toxic. Try and just say, you know what? Set one boundary and see how you feel.
Don't be afraid to be
It's such a power move. I feel like it's such a fucking power move to sit there and say, fuck you. Like, fuck you. Not literal fuck you, but do the boundary. I don't want this. And just focus. Picking you is such a fuck you move.
And to also, you can do it in a way where you're not being unkind. You're like, I don't wish you unwell. I don't wish harm upon you. However, this relationship is not suiting my higher purpose. And I wish you well. However, I need to complete my journey separately from you. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And that's all right. And you're gonna ruffle some feathers. It's gonna happen.
I don't understand why that ruffles feathers. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
It ruffles their feathers because you can't suit their needs any longer. They can't use you. They're vampires the majority of the time. So they can't suck your energy anymore. And they used you as a source for so long that now they can't use you as that reaffirming behavior forever. And it bothers them.
It sucks for them, not for me. It sucks for those people, not for anyone else. I love you.
I love you too. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being disliked. I have no problem with it because I'm fucking so proud of who I am.
Me too.
I'm so proud of our growth. I'm proud of
We've come fucking far.
And I can say of our success because success to me is how much we've shown up as ourselves. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud to be able to successfully be truly me and not be afraid to show up as
in the public eye too.
Even if people criticize it, I'm okay with that. And that is a power move.
You know, fucking, we're bad bitches. Power move 100%. Like I said, in the public eye, to do our healing journey, to fucking still show up authentically us for people who still follow us and still want to see our journey. I'm so ready to write a book. I don't think people understand.
It's gonna be such a whirlwind.
I'm so looking forward to that. And share. There's so many layers.
Yeah.
And we see all the layers. We see them.
And we want people to have that same power, which is why we even share it in the first place. It comes from a place of service. How do we use what we've been through and we take power and make power out of it, not get sympathy from it? How do we...
No, we don't want the sympathy. We want to fucking we want to help people.
Right.
Do what we just did.
Absolutely.
I just fucking cut generational trauma, the generational curses. I literally just did it like a couple weeks ago. I finally took my power back because they had such a hold on me. They had chains.
It's the karmic cycle.
I finally fucking did it. All I see now is my clear path. I've never been able to. I've always been like, what the fuck am I doing? What is my purpose? Set boundaries. I took back what was mine.
Yeah.
I did all of it. No more. I was done and I let go of it.
Because before that, you were so focused on everyone else's judgment, everyone else's idea of you, everyone else's outcome. You were so concerned about how everyone else was going to feel or think about you if you did make your own choices.
I also tried hard to just like avoid it too, because I'm like, that's going to keep the peace by avoiding.
But you were keeping peace by not making them feel those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't being honest, and when I finally was honest, hard boundary for them. It's like I took back pieces of my soul that were missing. I just like put back pieces together, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I get who I am now. I understand who I am. I look back at my old self, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe that, but I laugh about it. Yeah. It's funny.
You had to experience that version of yourself, so you can now use the wisdom and help other people to say, okay, if she can do that and she can figure out who she is through the face of adversity and so publicly, like they're able to do the same thing.
I mean, we just want to help. If we can, we just want to help. Whoever it resonates
with the right people.
With the right people. I've always wanted to do that. I mean, we've talked about it, but it just never sparked anything. I'm always like, I want to help people with my story. But my story was still not finished. I still did not cut the generational cycle off yet. So I wasn't ready.
But here we are. We're going to continue this series, and it's going to be a healing, spiritual series, and it's kind of going to flow right into our coaching sessions because we plan on taking this further for you
yeah.
guys.
I'm excited to see who we connect with.
Impact we can make on people's lives.
And they're gonna make an impact on ours. The people that you had in your classes, your last class, they made an impact on you.
Knowing that your pain can help another person, it literally makes you view the world a different way. Yes, we receive these very, very hard lessons, but look now you get to use all that pain and you get to teach somebody to fish. You know what I'm saying? You lead them to water, and now they get to take all of their power back. And it's not just like a world of perpetuating people in pain. And it's a ripple effect. It's like the butterfly effect.
You ignite something in them that they're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Like that little tool you gave them, they're like, oh. And then they work with it, and then it's like a ripple effect.
What they really needed was just somebody to validate them.
It's true.
They needed somebody to hold their hand and say, you're valid in what you've experienced, but you're no longer going to stay there.
Yeah.
And we're no longer going to be stuck and allow other people to hold the power over the life that you're living. Because you can't take back what happened 15 years ago. You can't. It's just psychologically, you can't take it back. But however, you can now create your own life. You get to be in control of what your life looks like now.
I think that's what we mean when we say you take your power back.
We're going to just tie in this conversation to the next few podcasts that we put out. It's something that I have passion for. It doesn't even feel like
it's just normal conversation for us. We really just have these conversations.
I just love connecting to them. Okay, guys, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And click the notification bell so you get notified every time we post. And we will see you guys next time.
Yeah, what she said. Subscribe to our channel.
Okay,
bye.